but we're not at the point where the global experts say we need to be for a county our size.
Dr. Vorha with the Fresno County Health Department admitting this week Fresno County is not flattening the curve because the county is behind in testing. And this week, the Central Valley topping 1,000 COVID cases. And that's where we begin with our panel this week. Let's take roll call. Kingsburg City Council member and Bernie Sanders supporter Joel Hurtado is here. And conservative talk radio host on KGED 1680, Guillermo Moreno. Guys, thank you so much for being with me. Social distancing, of course. We love it.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Well, let me start with this. And, Joel, I'll begin with you. Testing, testing, testing. Has Mayor Brand, along with other city and county leaders here, have they not done enough to get the testing they need for the population size, which is close to about 1 million people? Because, again, we've heard all week we're behind on testing.
You know, when it comes to our area here in the Central Valley, we tend to be left behind. We know that rural California is usually at a socioeconomic disadvantage most of the time. And so it is no surprise that there is lack of testing in our area. However, I do want to applaud Governor Newsom for the work that he is doing. He pledged to not leave the Central Valley behind, as I mentioned, is the usual case. And in recent news, we know that there will be able to be up to 6 to 10 times more tests facilitated here in our area. I'm really grateful for that leadership. Like I said, he pledged to not leave us behind. And I think that when we can see more numbers reflected, then we can really start to talk about that pathway to reopening the state.
And Guillermo, to Jules' point, Governor Newsom did give 100,000 tests this week to the Fresno County area, but is that enough?
You know, you look at the Fresno County statistics and how many tests we've been able to put out. You know, it's not a lot of tests, but when you look at how many individuals have COVID-19, it's at 7%, which is, I mean, it's not that high, which is good. You know, we should be, you know, praising God for the low amount of infectious COVID-19 positives. But as far as the testing goes, I mean, it's really a partnership between the federal government and the states. So really, you know, the federal government opens up those tests, and then after that, it's, you know, up to the state, it's up to Gavin Newsom, and it's up to the labs, because you obviously have to get these tests somehow processed.
You know, Governor Newsom and Guillermo, I'll stay with you here. He's still sort of playing the waiting game here. He's not giving specific dates on when he's going to lift the stay-at-home orders and start to flirt with opening some non-essential businesses, which really means, is he flirting with economic disaster here, at least for the state of California?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a dangerous game he's playing. You know, I get the caution, but at the same time, you know, the Central Valley is not like the Bay Area. It's not like Los Angeles. You could open up some of the 58 counties without opening up the entire state. But I mean, it's killing our economy. I really don't have to repeat that. But yeah, I think he's on a dangerous path. I think if this goes into May, especially in Fresno County, this could be really disastrous for our region.
Joel, where do you stand on this?
I do think it is important to note, though, that with the lack of testing, we don't have, I guess, real hard numbers to show the amount of positive cases that we do have. So, you know, like you said, thank God the numbers are low, but I don't feel like they're properly reflected when we haven't had proper testing to be able to be facilitated. And with the sheltering in place, I know this is hard and it's a burden on a lot of, I mean, I represent a city that is a ton of small businesses. And I'm the liaison for our Chamber of Commerce. So I know that I see firsthand how it's affecting our businesses. But at the end of the day, if we didn't act swiftly in the beginning, we would have seen so many more cases, and this would have been harder in the end.
You know, we need to open up. It's only 96% of the people that take these tests don't have it. You know, it's only 7.2 that have COVID-19, and we have a lot of recovery. And one thing that is not being mentioned in Fresno County, thank God, we've only had 7 deaths. 7 deaths, only 7% have it once they are tested. That's a really low number. That doesn't justify the shelter-in-place order being extended past May 6th. It just doesn't. The numbers aren't there.
Let me ask you this, because Guillermo, and I'll stay with you, Gary Bredefeld looking to sue the city or the state in obviously what he's calling basically arbitrary or capricious ways of opening or closing certain businesses. Does he have a case here?
Oh, absolutely. You know, in law school they tell you, the government can't pick winners and losers, and that's essentially what the city of Fresno has done. They've picked winners, and they pick losers. So I think he's got a solid case. And if you look at the cases that are now being brought against Gavin Newsom and his administration that are actually gaining steam, I think you could have a really big problem. In the end, are they gonna win and trump the state's interests? They tell you in law school the hardest person to win against is the government.
Joel, go ahead. What do you say about this?
That's a lot. That's a lot to talk about. But I know at the end of the day, when I'm thinking about this crisis, I'm hearing of the wanting to reopen the economy and hearing of the small businesses. And I think we need to work with our federal government to actually give relief and aid to true blue small businesses, mom and pop shops, and not to Ruth's Chris and Shake Shack. I think that we should actually be seeing real relief for the businesses in the city that I represent. And we can talk about, back and forth all day long about lawsuits. I just think at the end of the day, we need to band together now more than ever and try to truly, I know it's hard to say, put those politics aside and, make sure that we're saving lives and flattening that curve.
Well,
yeah, but
go ahead.
You do have some municipalities across the state that are pretty authoritarian. So they almost need to be stopped dead in their tracks. If you don't the lawsuit isn't just to, hey, we have a victory. It's also to let the government know, hey, this is where you need to stop. This is where you need to stop being authoritarian and trying to crush our civil liberties. So I agree. Gary Bredefeld should do it. Churches should join in, other small businesses. I'll even go all the way to say vape shops.
Wow.
Everyone, I believe, every business is essential.
Guys, I want to finish with this. I got 30 seconds. Real quick. Jewel, I'll start with you. Bulldog football. Fresno State is in a heap of trouble financially because of this pandemic. If they cut out Bulldog football, they may have to cut out certain sports programs moving forward. Should fans be able to attend games in the fall?
I think that right now it's hard to project what's going to happen tomorrow and what's going to happen in the next week. I think it's very hard to say how this will pan out in September. Do I think it's going to hurt us economically? Absolutely. Do I think this is really sad for the new coach not to be able to show off those new skills? Absolutely. Fresno State football is the heart and soul of Fresno, and it is sad. And so I know that at the end of the day, it sucks, but we have to look at the big picture. And like I said, stick together in this hard time.
Guillermo, got 10 seconds. Go.
You float it, you go out and you get more boosters, say football's happening, and watch the money pour in.
All right. Guys, stick with me here. We got another round to come. Hang tight. And coming up, is there enough relief on the way for small Valley farmers and the dairy industry? Can they survive the pandemic? Valley dairy farmer and former Congressman David Valadao joins me next.